Hello, and welcome back to Nature's Galaxy. I'm your host and talkative friend Luna. This message will be for Pisces placements. I'll be shuffling the Luna Edition Tarot. I also have some oracle cards here. So I'm mainly doing like one live reading every day just to see how it goes. So far it's been very positive, so just going to keep it up, keep it moving, so on and so forth. So bottom of the deck we have the Six of Cups. So this is blissfulness, coming together with your loved ones, your children. I was already chipping my nails most of the day, so leave me alone. But the Six of Cups, this is also family-oriented, things coming up from the past, or inventions that you thought of in the past. Something about that's coming up now. Okay, so let's see what's going on with Pisces. I was at work longer than expected today. And it was also just one of those days where it's just like, you have to go home because you need to go do some things. But then at the same time, it's just like, but I'm out and about, and I'll try to go to the movies maybe in like a week or so. I'm so bad at just going to the movie theaters. And I was just like, the Odyssey's out, might as well. Some kind of sustenance out there. But okay. Personal stuff aside. All right. Pisces message. We have the Page of Pentacles for Pisces. So you have questions about everything right now. It's very curious for you. You want to put your value into something. You want to extend more of yourself. The term worth is coming to mind, but I don't know how deep that actually goes. So, but you're very curious about how you can expand your value, what you have. Some of you are thinking about going back to school. Take your time. Some of you, I don't know. It's like every time you're trying to also think about something that's sustainable, it tries to swim away from you. I almost said fly away from you. So some of you could have air placements. So you're really trying to tap into this earthly realm. But I also feel like Page of Pentacles, some of you could be coming off as someone who needs to relearn a few things. No insult to injury if that is the case. But you know how Pisces, just like Virgos, just like Capricorns, just like Aquarians, you guys can disappear on people. So I think you're also hitting a point now that the North Node is out of Pisces and Pluto is in Aquarius in your 12th house. I think it is time for relearning. I believe it is time for you to see what's going on. Now, it's a running joke that I have between me and my peoples when I do see them. One of the jokes that I say is that the cults are in. You know how people are just like, oh, pink this season is in, or red this season, you gotta style and coordinate and different things like that. The cults are in. So be very mindful when you are trying to expand yourself. You could run into something like that, but that's not for everyone, okay? Just want to be very clear about that. Or, maybe if it's not like a cult, there's certain things like online that you need to be mindful of. I think you guys are also trying to distract yourself from doing something that God wants you to do. I know that's very out there, very big picture, but that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that for some of you, firework in the back, you have experience, but I just don't feel like you're alchemizing all of what you know. It really just seems like with the Page of Pentacles, there's this form of distraction. It's almost giving for some of you, not all of you, like this Jupiter and Gemini equation, which is basically you can get lost in the questions, you can get lost in the sauce, but then you don't really come up with anything and time has passed. So there is a need for you to understand this now. So since nothing else is really coming out from that tarot deck right now, I'm just going to pull from the Divine Energy Oracle. It says to raise your vibration. So what's one way you can do that? Because of course there's like different courses out there, different things here and there, but raise your vibration is about doing things that you want to do. So let's say you like singing. That's how you raise your vibration. For some of you, if you like writing, reading, that is how you raise your vibration. It's doing things that you want to do, the things that you love to do, not just want to do, because the wanting can also be a part of the distractions at this time. So it's an oracle deck. Yeah. Reevaluate your priorities is coming through. For some of you, your irritation is coming through as control as well. Like there's not a lot of things that you're able to control right now. So it can come off as irritation. It can come off as backhanded compliments. It can come off as, you know, certain things that really put other people in this phase of like, does Pisces even like me? And you can be the people who say one thing and do another. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing because it can be a coping mechanism when you're out and about. I'm not saying you should trust everybody that like walks around, so on and so forth. But it is important for you to be mindful about this. Okay. You don't want to be out here letting people think that you're out here trying to trick people. You're trying to get to your version of truth in this world. I mean, if chaos is everywhere, you have been having fun here and there, but there is this case of just like you really have to sit down and reevaluate what's going on. Keep your promises at the bottom of the deck. I feel like your promises or your commitments, I'm sorry, I said promises, this is commitment, but I think it goes hand in hand. I think your commitments, your promises that you make are healing, because you've had examples in the past where someone was obligated. They had to be there, whether it was like a parent or, you know, someone important to that stature where they needed to really come through for you and they just didn't. And I think you, like a sponge, like everybody's a sponge, you know, if you're around a certain environment long enough, you're going to start picking up certain things. What is it? A rotten fruit in a basket full of fresh fruit can make the whole thing rotten. So what do? Oh, you could do this. No, you just remove the rotten fruit. So 9 of Swords just went flying over here. Hold on. Okay. 9 of Swords. So the 12th house, the Pluto 12th house transit is taking hold. What do we do here, says Pisces? You want to reevaluate certain things. And there is this level of shame and guilt. You need to balance out your sacral. You need to balance out your solar plex. And for some of you, you need to balance out your throat chakra. These are incredibly unbalanced at this time. A Pisces heart, I always feel, is like always open. Maybe that's me, maybe that's because I'm around a lot of Pisces people, but in general, and I also have 12th house placement, so I can understand a certain level of where you guys are coming from. But with this 9 of Swords energy, I would say blame it on Pluto. Like, maybe I need to like get girly about it for a second, because 9 of Swords can be very rough. Blame Pluto. blame Pluto in the 12th house right now. It's going to be there for a while, but it's all about inner transformation. Some of you, I don't think you mean to, but the people around you kind of force you into this self-denial. I don't think they want that for you either, but I'm not really sure how they can help you at this point in time. It's a conversation that still comes back to you, but you also can't distract yourself. You know, I've been saying this to a few people recently. You know, the whole self-talk, people are just like, I'm stupid, because, you know, people are just like, they're calling them stupid for so long, and, you know, they're around this verbal abuse, so on and so forth. After a while, I think you just need to start flirting with your inner thoughts. That can just be a me thing because I'm a Libra, but I think you need to take a page out of the Libra book, because you don't need to be in the Nine of Swords is what I'm getting as well. But I also believe that you haven't prioritized healing your trauma. You're kind of walking around like a big kid a little bit. I don't mean that in a bad way, but that version of you is still stuck there, somewhere in the timeline. And it's hard for you to reach, but you're also not talking to that version either. You're not setting yourself in a space where you're recognizing that certain people are using you. And maybe you do recognize this, but you're straight in the middle of it. And it's just like, then what does Pisces do? This could also be financial. Coming up, it feels like somebody wants to financially get one over on you. Keep all your receipts, because it almost smells like a lawsuit coming up. That's what it kind of feels like coming as well. If you feel like you're repeating yourself right now, if you feel as though certain things are on repeat, I think it's two things. One, I think it's the scrolling, because that's what I'm picking up on intuitively. And the second thing is restructuring your cognitive dissonance, your cognitive behavior. I'm all for cognitive behavioral therapy. Yes, you can pay certain people to help you out, but sometimes it's just about like putting on your wallpaper that you're going to do something different, or an affirmation that resonates with you. You really do have to start with the small things. Okay, oof. Yeah, Five of Swords. Okay. This Five of Swords could be coming from a King of Wands, so somebody who is dogmatic to a degree. It's not funny. They're dogmatic to a degree where karma could be afoot for them. And on the other hand, yeah, it looks like this fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, they have status. They have a position where they feel like they can just rock and roll and do whatever they want. But the Tower is nearby. I think some of you are going to be someone's karma coming up, the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And boy, what a battle, or a spiritual battle it will be, looking at these cards. King of Wands, Page of Pentacles, the Fool, and then the Tower. You could have Aquarius in your chart. So I know for the last few years, Aquarius, these two cards have been coming up for you a lot. C'est la vie. But, you know, just putting it out there. With the Fool card and the Tower, there's also certain people who get around you so they can get this good luck. For others of you, it does feel like, again, you might be someone's karma, because they keep coming at you with this Five of Swords energy. But you're going to be as Pisces as you can about it. Very dreamy, teacher-like. If you're in the position of being a teacher, you're coming through as someone who has a lot of fire, But again, you have to reevaluate how you're talking to people. You have to reevaluate how you are getting your money in. Are you happy making your money this way? What are you really working towards? And then here comes the blank wall. Not to insult anybody, absolutely not, but it is here. What's the Five of Swords? Or actually, what's all of this through the oracle eyes for Pisces? Keep your commitments. Reflect on your truth. So some of you in human design could be a reflector. So it's definitely going to take you some time to really get a handle on this. But once you come to your truth, it's going to be pretty well received. Now, if you're not a reflector in human design, this is going to affect you differently. We have this King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Now, for me, somebody's in trouble. When this card comes up, somebody's in trouble. So it's either you or certain people around you, especially this fire sign. Like, it's really coming through like, it's the fire sign, it's the fire sign, it's the fire sign. Their fire sign is the one who keeps throwing these swords. If you have fire in your chart, people may not appreciate the fire you're giving to them, because you might think, oh, you know, new subscriber, what will my future wife be like? I'm actually not doing a love reading right now. These are just generals. I will do love readings probably later on when I've finished the actual full zodiac, and then I'll come back around and then do love. Somebody asked about that yesterday, so I'm just clarifying. So do not worry. It will come back around in terms of like me doing the love readings, but as of right now, it's just like these are the general messages. All right. Something about Three of Wands here. I'm going to put it back in the deck, but for some of you, new friends, new social life, this is what you need right now. This is what your soul needs right now. Okay. And not clinging on to certain situations. I don't know. This reading seems very vague, but I know that it's going to resonate for some of you. Okay. But let's look at this Five of Swords. What's this Five of Swords with Pisces about? Is it them or is it the other person? Queen of Pentacles. You could be bringing out this Five of Swords within yourself because of money. You have decided, and I think Pluto's going to slowly shake it out of you one way or another, where even if you are struggling right now with money, the universe does not like you being too harsh with yourself, because when you start being too harsh with yourself, then you start being harsh with other people. And once you start being hard on other people, that starts affecting your heart. That starts affecting all of your chakra points, where good luck can find you in different ways. It starts to snowball in others. Now, Five of Swords, if this is other people towards you, there's something here in terms of money, in terms of finances. They don't feel compensated. The Five of Swords is also neglect. You know, there are people out here, this could also be children as well. There's a certain level to this outside person and or individual where their neglect, it's like compulsive with how they communicate, or maybe this is you. It really does feel like it's 50-50 with this reading, and I believe I said this yesterday and also with the Capricorn reading. It's really hard to tell if it's like you or the other person who's throwing these swords. Now, for others of you, if it's a Taurus, Virgo, and or Capricorn woman that you're dealing with who's throwing you these Five of Swords, why are they doing this? But it's also looking like comparison. Like they really want to make themselves feel better instead of doing the inner work to make the situation better for themselves. It's like they kind of want to take that energy from other people in very backhanded ways. Not being upfront, not being mature, not saying the thing that they need to say. We have the Lovers card. We also have Gemini energy here. A Gemini could be floating around in your energy, or this could also be Uranus in Gemini. So Gemini to Pisces, that's your 4th house. Ooh. Okay. So Uranus in your 4th house, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs when it comes down to property, trying to buy a home, trying to get a condo, moving to different apartments, so on and so forth. So this is going to be happening for the next few years. Something about migration. You're going to be a part, some of you are going to be a part of a migration. You're going to be up and leaving. You're going to be going to a foreign country. And yeah, because 5 of Swords, like you're just so sick and tired of the politics. You're so sick and tired of the environments around you, you know, the environments that feel like it's crabs in a bucket. You're trying to crawl to the top, and then as soon as they get one of your legs, you know, they almost find enjoyment, not all of them, but some of them find enjoyment in the comfort or just pulling you down. Like they can't, it's hard to imagine, or there's something that they're intuitively picking up where they just can't communicate it properly. Next, we have the 3 of Cups. Yeah, in this situation, so we got Gemini here, we got Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. These are 2 different groups. So the group with the Gemini and the Earth sign is the one that I'm reading about right now. The fire sign could to some extent be involved, but that's not for everybody. If a Leo betrayed you in the past, that's coming back around. Karma's finally hitting them this Saturn retrograde season. And how this also panned out is because you just don't care anymore. You just don't care. And that's what the universe needed from you, is to be in this fool-like state and leave this energy alone. And it was going to be some time. It was going to be some time either way. But I think this is propelling you to also not be around certain lovers with this Lover card energy here. I also think some of you are taking a stand when it comes down to going on dates where there's alcohol, because people want to also put that as an excuse here as well, where it's just like, oh, I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, I don't know what I was doing. Oh, you know, that was drunk me. Take accountability. Take accountability. So if you haven't agreed to this already in your heart, maybe again, it's me to you being like, hey, if there's somebody that's just like, let's go out to dinner, you know, I'll get you a drink, I'd be very weary about this person. Like, you go if you want to, but like, I'm the friend in the corner where I'm just like, he's a chop. So get the fuck away from him. But again, I'm the friend in the corner where it's, you know, my eyes already are gonna tell you like how I feel. You touch my friend in any type of way, I'm right across the bar. But anyway, but energetically, I'm right across the bar. So just know. Oh, look, Empress, right at the bottom of the deck. Anyway, jokes aside, small jokes aside, because you always, at least to a certain extent, always need that friend around. That's what I know about myself as well. Got Venus in the 9th house. Call me up wherever you are, girl. I'll give you a little bit of fire so you can finish the situation out. Okay. Who is this King of Wands character? Now, this could be somebody helping you get a promotion, a job, but this person just coming through as an asshole. Is a very precocious person in the worst way. Very old school, very conservative, and it's not saying like all old school or conservative people are bad or so on and so forth, but this character is annoying. That's what I'm getting. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So even though they're annoying, it does feel like this King of Wands character could be helping you out, helping push this wheel forward. Now, there are going to be moments in time where you feel like this Wheel of Fortune is stuck, but I truly believe it's when you start potentially talking sideways to people where this is you're gonna run into a problem. The question I heard is, but what if I'm sassy? I mean, there's always a place and time, right? If you're talking sideways to an individual where you know they're already being an asshole in the present moment, and it's just one thing after another, one thing after another. Okay. So, very situational here. So the Fool, what do we need to know about the Fool here? Oh, cards. Where did you all go? I'm not gonna take these. Okay. We have the Six of Pentacles. It's equal give and take, but how much are you also putting into all of this? I'm gonna put it back in the deck. But the Fool and the Tower card. Cats, what can you help Pisces understand? This is about money as well. There's like what the energy is telling me is that there's going to be a stark difference between financial security coming up. It's one thing. Firework. Like, it's one thing if you and others are helping one another, but I do feel like this financial burden, it needs to be addressed coming up. And I think the universe in one way, shape, form, or fashion is going to help you address it. You know how I think the universe is going to help you address it? By being jealous. The universe is going to trigger you coming up into being jealous about a couple of things, and then looking at your circumstance, because there's going to be certain individuals that come in very pure. Now, what if you're already on a very strong financial security level? I don't know why I have to say it like that. Like, you really put in place like a lot of security points here and there. But let's see. Cats, what do you have to tell Pisces? Knight of Swords. How are you fighting the good fight, sir, ma'am, theys, and thems, for future people who are coming into this reading? How are you fighting the good fight? Are you hiding things from people when you don't want people pocket watching you, but you're also pocket watch other people? That's not for all of you. That's for some of you. It's, this message. It just feels like you're really going in between the devil, the angel, the devil, the angel, the devil, the angel. And it's just like, if you feel dizzy, I get it. I feel it. But it comes back to keep your commitment. I understand you're mutable, but it also seems like to a certain level, especially with the Tower card here, there's not a lot of commitment going on here. Okay, just saying. No tea, no judge. The King of Wands again. Goodness. This could be an ex. Your finances could be tied to an ex because of an ex. You could also have just a hard time putting yourself out there. There's just, I'm thinking when it comes down to infrastructure and architecture, I don't know why this brutalism architecture is like coming to mind. I don't know what I'm connected to when I'm thinking of that, but for anybody who's just like, what's brutalism in architect? It's basically just these really big buildings, but they're all concrete. Like, they can be sustainable, but at the same time, it's kind of ugly. So, it's very expensive due to the material, but most of the time it's just very ugly. It's very off-putting. It's very militarized. So Saturn going retrograde in your second house of Aries, the first house away from you, how you demand certain things, how you go after certain things. It's all changing for the better. But it's up to you. No one else is going to change you. I mean, there's obviously going to be people who are going to hold your hand through this. But this is what's going on. Okay. And there's something about blooming. Like, it's hard for you to bloom. And maybe you're upset with yourself about that as well. And then other people come in and then they take and then they also throw things around. And once you get like a taste of victory, exposure, or success, I don't know. Because they're not bad things. It just feels like a lot of things right now in your life coming off of the Mercury retrograde and Cancer. You guys have probably been one of the people who are most affected by Mercury and Cancer retrograde. Okay, so in these situations, there is a transformation coming in Scorpio season, especially with your finances. But there's something here where it's like you can't let it get to your head, but you also have to look at the people around you. I don't know what's going on in terms of the denial that you have potentially with the people around you, but just like, I forgot who it was. I think it was either yesterday or no, it was yesterday with Aquarius. So you could have Aquarius in your chart, but you really have to start looking at some of the people around you. Because I think some people are going to pull a U on you, Pisces, where since at times you can be really nice and really passive with certain things, unfortunately, I think that's also what's going to be happening to you coming up, because there's a part of you that just wants to isolate, push back, push away. So when you change tracks, when you pivot, what type of true purpose is there? Because loneliness is also driving this as well, a certain level of loneliness, you know, not being invited to certain things, always feeling like you're supposed to have more, and especially your environment pushing this within you. You know, it's by people's bad behavior. It's this Tower card behavior that come out of people where they want to shake you up, and here you are just trying to have a nice time. You're just trying to get some cake, you're trying to get some pie, you're just, you're trying to get some desserts, and then all of a sudden it's just like boom, somebody comes in to disrupt your peace, disrupt your harmony, disrupt your wishes. But I think the universe is also holding back with how much it wants to give you, because again, you're just, for some of you, you could be in denial with how to even want to get out of this situation. I'm not trying to control you, but again, it does feel like the universe might be pulling a U on you. Let's get, yeah, and that's probably why this King of Swords, this particular King of Swords, not all the King of Swords, but this type of King of Swords from this particular deck, he quiet, but it's tense. He controls a lot of this air around here. But that's why this King of Swords character is coming up, where it's just like, you can argue it as much as you want. You can fuss as much as you want. But in order for you to have true riches and feel like you're on top of the world, you have to do the work of weeding out certain people in your life that cause you to feel down about yourself. And when you start doing this to others, again, it's just like the universe wants to remind you that you will feel bad if you do this. So stop shooting yourself in the foot. Stop cutting your nose to spite your face. Does that make sense? Because nobody wants to tell you, Pisces, because like, this is, for some of you, this is potentially your last life. So we're not really trying to get onto like that, but at the same time, when you go to someone after shooting yourself in the foot or cutting your nose to spite your face, like after a while, the doctors are going to be like, you know, it's hard to put this back together. Grieve your losses. Be patient. Especially with yourself. Especially with yourself, you need to be patient. 2 King of Wands cards came out. Ooh. Ooh. Goodness. Now, it's one thing if you have fire in your chart, but since I'm primarily reading for Pisces, is dominating. But I also want to put out there that a lot of your altruism and alchemy is coming back to you, where you're thinking, okay, the common man, you know, I'm running out of time to do this, but at the same time, I also know deep down inside, you know, I don't really have much to do. I can make it really beautiful, or I can just not care and just be very self-righteous about certain things. But then it feels empty. Then it feels empty. Now, you do have a right to push the brakes on certain things, as do other people, if they're at their wits' end about a couple of things. Allow this alchemized space to happen. You will be very thankful for it later on down the line, but you do need to really grab your craft by the horns and get started. Writing, singing, drawing, painting, dancing, photography, content creation. Get to it. Last message, make necessary sacrifices. Pisces, thank you so much for stopping by, trusting me with your cards, and all that jazz. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a great afternoon, evening, night, morning, whenever you're watching this, and I will catch you guys